What's up, guys? We are again, as you can see, in the car. I'm on the way to Vale Studio, one of our creative directors. It's like a half an hour drive, and we're gonna record a couple of new videos. But today I'm coming to you guys because there's a lot of updates when it comes to crypto, obviously, when it comes to Bitcoin. And we did our raw version last time in the car, and everyone loved it. So I'm just gonna continue. As you guys know, I am currently still in Germany, so we're going to the studio, yes, but I think these videos get the point across, and we don't need on chart right now since Bitcoin is anyways just pushing. But I'm coming to you guys with a very important message. And yesterday I read something very interesting where someone, Fred Krueger, someone that I follow a lot on Twitter, he talks a lot about crypto and Bitcoin, and he's very smart. I think he was a hedge fund manager and stuff like that, and he's a crypto maximalist. And he said, look, if you compare Bitcoin to fiat and gold, then Bitcoin 100% is going to win, and we're going to see a lot of outflow in Bitcoin in the next couple of months and years to come when Bitcoin goes higher and higher. Because if you compare on, like, let's say, for example, four things and four aspects, Bitcoin to fiat and to gold, then obviously gold and crypto or Bitcoin is something that is very difficult to obtain. It's difficult to create more of it, right? We have a fixed supply on gold, or basically there's not really much more gold that we are finding. We have a fixed supply on crypto, but fiat has no fixed supply, right? So gold gets that point too, as in Bitcoin it's very hard to create. Okay, now Bitcoin is very easy to move, gold is very difficult to move. And the aspect of moving, especially in a globalist world, is very important. Because, for example, I have gold at home right now, but I want to take it, but it's going to cause problems, right? My Bitcoins, I can have them everywhere I want, so I have all my cryptos on ledgers, but I always have a ledger with me. And if I need to, then I can always ask someone to give me my keys that I trust, and I'll have my keys and I have my Bitcoins, and I can obviously at the end of the day have money wherever I go. It doesn't matter where, as long as I have internet, right? And I can cash it out basically everywhere. So that's obviously a big advantage for that. Then obviously when it comes to the creation part, how difficult is it to obtain? Is there a fixed supply? Then the second one we just said, which is basically the moving, like the part of where Bitcoin is, and especially in comparison to gold, is very difficult to, and fiat too, right? Even though fiat money on a bank account is pretty easy to move, but then physically it's very difficult to move. You cannot take more than 10K, right? So the moving aspect, the aspect of having a comfortable way of crossing borders with Bitcoins is very easy, very difficult with cash, and very difficult with gold, obviously. And obviously it's very difficult if you run around with gold in your pockets or whatsoever. Okay, so that's a different and difficult thing. And obviously to gold also, when it comes to that, it's very difficult to have parts of it, right? Yes, you can an ounce, and an ounce gives you that much money, but there's not like you cannot cut it half if you just want to pay half. Like, imagine there's an apocalyptic event or war or whatever, and yes, maybe you have an ounce of gold, but you just need half of it. Like, what do you do? And he has no change, right? So it is very difficult to cut it down. It's difficult to like basically separate it, and that's very easy with Bitcoin, right? Because the smaller version of Bitcoin is Satoshi, so 0.1 Bitcoin is basically a smaller part, and you can give parts of it, which makes it very easy and movable and liquid, and that's very important, right? And then obviously we have a couple of other important things when it comes to that. But where is Bitcoin right now? Where is Bitcoin going? That is way more important. So as I said in my value channel, as I said in my stories, confirmed $80,000 is very likely. We are currently sitting at 7.3. We had a little bit of a pullback, 6-7%, and this 6-7% as also announced in my value channel. And if you don't know what the value channel is, then you can just click on the link below, which will take you to a newsletter. You need to sign up, and then you get value emails, no spam, and then you also get the link for my value channel, and you can get in. And the value channel basically gives you all the information about my trades, my investments, when do I enter, and what do I think about the current markets. I'm a 7 years trader and investor, multiple six-figure and even earner 7-figure. So I know what I'm talking about, right? And past results never guarantee future results, but it's very important. Obviously, that's why I'm telling you these things. If you are new here, that you have someone that you can trust. But you will see the value anyways. It's completely for free, so check it out. And there I said, look, if we have a 4, 5, 6, 7%, we had a 7.6% pullback, something like that, then buy in, right? The same thing I did. So I opened the position, a trade position, I stack the positions. Every time it drops by 5 or 6%, we have these pullbacks, I'll enter with another 10%, right? And I put my stop loss on break even, so I'm not losing anymore. And that's how I'm accumulating and stacking my positions with high leverage to really make a lot of profit. Currently both my trades on 2 different exchanges, besides obviously my crypto investment, just the trades, I'm profit somewhere $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 depending on how the price is currently moving, right? And I got in pretty late with my trade because I was still very bearish, and we updated and changed our trajectory in the last crypto update. That's why I said no sells anymore, just buys. Confirmed we are going to 80,000 and probably higher, because what we are seeing is a very strong uptrend in Bitcoin right now, where Bitcoin reacts. If it reacts bearish, or if it's like pulls back, if it builds pullbacks, and it's like a 4, 5, 6% pullback, gets bought up again, and then continues to go higher than the former price. So an uptrend, right, confirms an uptrend. So we have lower highs and higher highs. And then again, we have a 3, 4, 5% pullback. And every time we have these pullbacks, I accumulate, right? If you're still not in crypto, I've been telling you for months and years now. Obviously, many people would say right now, and I was confronted with that, right? I'm very, very conscious about my surroundings, what people say. And I know many people said that, you know, now Bitcoin is too expensive, Ethereum is too expensive, I'm not gonna get in anymore, I'm not invested right now, and I'm mad at myself. And I completely understand that, but look, where I'm asking you, where do you see Bitcoin going, right? If you can invest now at $73,000 and you're looking for Bitcoin to go to 100,000, 120,000, which our system confirms it's going to go to 120,000. Obviously, that's never guaranteed, but very, very probably, because we were right in basically all the other moves before. So if you go into all of my crypto updates, you will see we were right on the long-term trajectory all the time. Maybe some intraday or swing trades we were wrong, right? Especially the 2 updates ago, when we did like a risky sell entry, right, where I wanted to see Bitcoin correct, it just went over, right? And now we are changing this trajectory, as I already said. Sometimes even if I was biased to sell, I change my bias because I try to enter, and obviously we have too many bullish confirmations. So that's why we need to change and adapt, right? The one that adopts into the market the fastest is the one that's going to win. So if you are seeing Bitcoin going to 100,000 and you put in money now, you still have some percentage of it going up, right? You still have Ethereum, which has a lot of potential. There's still a lot of things we can do, right? So that is important for you guys to understand, that there is still a lot of potential. And I don't really think, even though it would be nice if we have a stronger correction of 20-30%, then obviously I would reinvest, I would put more money in. If you're already in crypto, if you're not in crypto, it doesn't really make sense right now to say, look, I'm just gonna wait. Maybe you have $10,000, you were waiting for a pullback, a stronger correction, right? A little bit more than just a pullback, and you wanted to put money in, but you're like, no, shit, it's just going up and we only have 5% corrections and it's too high right now. We are at an all-time high. I don't want to invest. I understand that. But if you have, for example, 100% of your capital that you want to move in, so let's say you have 10K right now, and I would, like, for example, what I would do, I would take 2,000 or 3,000, so 20, 30, 25%, and just buy right now. It doesn't matter where it is, right? Because you cannot afford to lose this move, okay? Then whenever Bitcoin corrects for 20, 25, more than 25%, 28% is when I'm gonna start, okay, to rebuy. So put more money in, okay? Then you can go with all the rest of the money. Now, what happens if you lose the move? Like, let's say you put in a 20%, now 25, good, you have 25%, you are exposed, you are in it, you have 0.0 whatever Bitcoin, at least you have some if you don't have any, because you want to be part of this. And then if Bitcoin just continues to rise and you still have like $8,000-$7,000 sitting around, then there will be altcoins that you can invest into, right? There will be Ripple, there will be Ethereums, right? If Ethereum drops a little bit, it's a little bit cheaper in price, but I truly see that a very logical number that we're gonna hit in the next couple of months is gonna be $120,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Ethereum, and then obviously we have a lot of more potential, obviously, to go higher, because all of these institutions are just buying up and buying up and buying up, because everyone is getting more interested. And see, if Bitcoin price hits $100,000, everyone wants to go in, right? People will move out money of gold and silver and move it over to Bitcoin, because it's just the future. It makes so much sense, right? And I'll give you another couple of points that are very important when it comes to crypto at the end of the day, and when it comes to what is happening in the markets, right? And I posted it on Twitter, and I just have to read for you guys. Obviously, don't tell the police that I'm driving at my phone in my hand, please. It's hard to make, it's easy to move, it's easy to audit. Audit means it's easy to track, right? Which is very difficult with fiat money. It gets a lot of problems, right? And it's easy to hold yourself. These are the most important things, and people are gonna understand that, right? Bitcoin right now is a thing where people would say, look, let's say you have a new friend in your friend group, okay, and he's kind of weird, and he's kind of a nerd, he's kind of weird, sometimes he does weird things, people say a lot of things about him, and you're like still very careful, as you should. You're careful, does he fit into the friend group, will I trust him, will I connect with him, will I build a friendship with him? And right now, and there was Bitcoin before, but right now Bitcoin is this kid that was a nerd, you know, no one trusted, everyone talked bad about him, but he still performed, and he still kept his word. He's still shown that he's a good friend. He's still shown that he's a good friend to have on your side. And now he's really pushing hard. Means now he's really showing everyone what he's capable of. Even though everyone still knows he was the kind of nerd, and sometimes he's still a little bit nerdish, he is trustworthy. He's a very good friend. He has good advice. He is wise, and he's the future, right? He's someone that could really like continue to lead this clique, your friend group, whatever it is, right? Just like to make a stupid example, but you understand what I mean, is like people are really seeing Bitcoin now becoming their friend. And at one point, the people in your friend group, right, the people around Bitcoin, they will understand that it's too costly to not have him as a friend, right? It's too costly, it's too risky to not have him as a friend. So people that have a lot of money, wealthy people, the top 1%, 2% that they have the money in corporations, in gold and silver and whatsoever, they understand slowly now that it is not good to not have Bitcoin on your side, right? It is actually not good that you are probably risking to be a very wealthy person that has no Bitcoins, is not exposed into the market. And look, if we only move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% of the wealthiest people, their money into Bitcoin, they're still 95%, 90%, 97% exposed in gold, in like equities and whatever, right? Then it's still a lot of money, right? And still will put Bitcoin somewhere in between, I don't know, 220,000 to 500,000 to $1 million, right? Depending on how fast this adoption really happens, and it's happening way too fast. That's why everyone got caught off guard, right? With the Bitcoin move now going to 73, even before the halving. See, the halving is gonna happen, which means the one thing that makes Bitcoin very famous is that obviously we have a fixed supply, so it's gonna be harder after the halving to get more Bitcoins, right? So at the end of the day, what these institutions really wanna do is just buy it off. And one day in the next couple of years, Bitcoin will settle somewhere like gold in a very high number, a very high price range, and will move a couple of percent, because you need to understand what institutions and big people want is a couple of percent. They want a couple of percent, but what they actually want is like, that's why they invested in gold, because gold was by date the best thing before Bitcoin really came and it's taking off right now, and it's really like institutionalized and gives the security, because you could have not moved so much money into Bitcoin before as in gold, right? Even if you had a lot of money, or you have a lot of money, it was insanely difficult before the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETF coming out and other crypto ETFs coming out, was very difficult to move a lot of money into these into this asset, right, into Bitcoin itself. Now, since we have that, it's very easy, so that's good for them. But in the future, with a globalistic world, with wars, with difficulties, with borders and everything that we have, obviously, what people want is gold, moving a couple of percent, but being very stable in money, right? So it should be like a safe haven where people put money. It should be a store of value, right? And not making a 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% and drops of 5, 6%. Bitcoin is going to be like gold, right? And once it's like gold, it's going to be very uninteresting for you, for us especially, because we are people that have not a lot of money, most likely, and people that don't have a lot of money, they need to invest small sums of money, very risky, right? Which Bitcoin is right now, or was and still is. And very wealthy people that have a lot of money, they need to invest their money, a lot of money, but they want to invest it into something that at least keeps the value and doesn't drop too much and doesn't go too high that much. I mean, the upside is always good, but they are okay with not having a lot of upside, and more like safe and store of value, because they want to put money somewhere, because we have inflation, because we have wars going on, because we don't know about the monetary system, because we want to move money. Maybe tomorrow you have to sell everything and move out of Europe to Dubai, to Saudi Arabia. Maybe, I don't know what is happening in this world, but it is very unstable, with Israel being in war with Palestine, and with Ukraine being in war with Russia, and Russia with Ukraine, and then we have like China, and we let's see what Erdogan is doing in Turkey, because he's not really liking what is happening in Palestine. Then let's see what the Arabs do. Then obviously America and Russia all the time are fighting, and France said they're gonna move troops into Ukraine, into Palestine, into Israel, into Ukraine. Now again, look, there's so many wars, I'm even confused. But what that means is that I need to put my money somewhere. And basically, I'm not gonna put it in gold, because if my country tells me I need to leave, or I need to leave right now, or there's any problem, do you think they're gonna give a shit about your gold? No. It is only the Bitcoins that you have. Do you think you're gonna go there and give them a brick of gold? No. It's gonna be like that. Look, I have a Bitcoin. I'm gonna give you this Bitcoin. Take my family on this private jet out of this fucking country, because I don't know if we're gonna be in a war tomorrow or not. And this is very negative thinking, but that's just how the world is moving, and everything is getting digital. Then why are you still invested into non-digital assets, into hard assets that are very hard to move, very hard to protect? Because if a guy comes into your house with a gun and says, give me the gold, then you're gonna lose that gold, right? Whether you could say, look, I, for example, don't know my keys. I don't know my keys. I will need to have to call someone, right? And they know my keys, and then I have my keys. But I don't know my keys. So even if you would like to, I cannot give you my keys, right? I have my ledger with me, but I don't have the keys. So it's a high security, right? It's a high security that it gives you. And at the end of the day, even if you lose the hardware, even if you lose the stick, if you have a security in terms of where your crypto is, then it gives so much upside. So I'm telling you a lot of theoretical things, but also giving you practical examples why it makes so much sense that Bitcoin is going to go to 100, 120 and even higher. It is really difficult right now to see where this is going. But with that being said, guys, check out the value channel. You really, I can obviously not make any investment advice, but what I'm going to do every time Bitcoin corrects 5 to 6, 7%, I'm going to re-enter, build up my positions. I gave you 2 scenarios on what you can do if you currently don't have any Bitcoins and you want to have some. I give you an idea how I would do it, and I also told you what can happen if we have a correction and how you can take this. And I think this advice is very, very important. And obviously, in the future at 80,000, if you already invested very early, maybe it makes sense to take a little bit of profit, like 5 to 10% profit of your position. And then once we hit $100,000, for me $120,000, then I will start to take a little bit higher returns, or basically profits. I'm just gonna put the money aside a little bit and wait. And obviously majorly I'm still gonna be exposed in Bitcoin. I'm gonna keep 80% of my position. But look, don't be a geek and an idiot that just writes it up but also writes it down again. And obviously if you want, and I called last time, I have an Instagram live where I told 2 years ago when we hit the all-time high, I was basically one of the only people that said, look, go out now. You know, I made like an Insta live. I sold 50% of all my positions at 62, 63 because of my trading strategy and my knowledge. I knew that Bitcoin is not gonna go higher, so I'm gonna call the top again. And once I call the top, I'm gonna do this in my value channel, so you need to be aware. So the thing is, look, many people get good entries in Bitcoin, but then they lose everything because they don't know when to sell and they get too focused. And look, even if you take 20, 30% profit and the price continues to go up, you're still in it with 60, 70, 80%. Not gonna lose a lot, but you made a lot, right? Because if you bought Bitcoin for 20, 30, 40, 50,000, you still made good amounts of profit. If Bitcoin goes to 100,000, you take out 20, 30%, right? So with that being said, guys, another raw version. I hope you like these videos. If you have any questions, if you want to know anything, please comment below. I'm always going to be very active. I love comments, negative or positive or constructive, especially, right? Doesn't matter, but put it below. I'm ready to help you. I'm ready to record videos and quick answers in the next couple of updates, because right now we don't need a lot of on-chart analysis. That was before that, getting good entries, but now it's just like using these pullbacks to build up more positions. And I'm gonna post a video in the next days, which is my secret trading strategy, which teaches you exactly how to take my trade ideas and how you can profit from the pullbacks and really build up high leverage positions with a lot of with a little downside, just with a little bit of risk or no risk at all. And I'm gonna tell you how this works. So stay tuned into the value channel. I'm gonna post it in the next days. See you there, guys. Stay safe, and at the end of the day, don't like, don't comment, don't follow, because I don't give a shit. Let's get it.